The clock on the wall ticked past midnight, its rhythmic sound reverberating through the empty command center. Captain Elena Vasquez sat at her station, eyes fixed on the monitors in front of her. The blue glow of the screens was the only light in the room, casting shadows over the aged walls of the underground facility. Outside, the world was asleep, unaware that in the heart of a forgotten military base, humanity's fate rested on a single missile, suspended in silence and anticipation. Elena was one of the last to know what had transpired. The world above had already descended into chaos. Cities burned. Governments crumbled. And then, a single order came through the encrypted channels, sealed in blood and desperation: launch the missile. Her fingers hovered above the launch controls. She could feel the weight of the decision pressing down on her like an oppressive storm cloud. The missile, sitting atop its silo miles beneath the surface, was a weapon of unmatched power. Designed to end all wars, it now stood ready to end the world. Captain Vasquez, the voice of her commander crackled through the comms. The countdown is imminent. You have confirmation. Ready the warhead. Elena's chest tightened. She thought of her family, her friends, the world she once knew. The people she would never see again, the faces now only memories. Yet, in this moment, her role was clear. The command had been given. The enemy was out there, somewhere, and the missile, the ultimate weapon, was their answer. Her hand trembled as she pulled the lever forward, the control panel lighting up in response. A loud hum filled the room, and a sense of coldness swept through her. The countdown clock on the screen blinked to life. T-minus 30 minutes. She breathed deeply, trying to steady herself. The hum grew louder, a mechanical heartbeat pulsing with every second that passed. Elena wasn't sure if she was waiting for the missile to launch or for the world to stop spinning. A sudden transmission broke through her thoughts. "Captain, do you read me?" The voice was weak, a familiar one, Colonel James Patterson, her second in command. "Elena, please, listen to me," Patterson continued. "This isn't the way. We still have time. There's a chance to stop this." The words hit her like a wave, but she remained silent. Her fingers hovered just above the final switch. "I know what they told us," Patterson's voice cracked, "but we were given this power to protect life, not to destroy it. Do we really want to be the ones to end everything?" Her breath caught. She could see his face in her mind, his unshaven cheeks, the intensity in his eyes. They had fought side by side for years, through drills, through battles, always with the same belief that they were doing what was necessary to protect the people they loved. But now, that belief felt hollow. She stared at the countdown clock. T-minus 15 minutes. The missile sat silently in its silo, waiting, as though it too understood the gravity of the moment. Outside, the wind howled, but in this room, there was no sound but the echo of time. Elena's hand inched closer to the final switch. Patterson's voice was a distant whisper now. "I'm not asking you to refuse the order, but to remember who you are." The seconds stretched like hours. Elena stood up abruptly, her chair scraping harshly against the cold concrete floor. She stepped toward the launch panel and stared at the glowing red button. It was within reach, a moment away from finality. And yet, she hesitated. T-minus 5 minutes. With a force she didn't know she had left, Elena slammed her fist down on the emergency override. The countdown froze, the red numbers blinked and then faded to black. The room fell silent. Outside, the world would continue to burn. But inside, Elena knew she had made her choice. She was no longer just a soldier. She was a person again. And the world still had a chance. The last missile, unlaunched, remained still, as if it too had made the decision to wait for a better tomorrow.